For my midterm project, I created a shadow box inspired by the ideas of my students. I'd like to start by quoting Jessica Hoffman Davis. She says, "Why not proudly acknowledge that the arts are powerful vehicles for learning and development? Sure, what they teach can serve student learning in any subject, but the arts provide vital learning opportunities that other subjects simply do not. Why not lead from strength rather than barter for acceptance?" And I think that this quote really inspires the way that I approach education. As a preschool teacher, I find that we can explore any subject through the arts. And because I base my lessons on my students' interests and questions, I decided to compile a list of these things. I keep a list typically all year round, just for planning purposes and just to keep it up to date and keep so I better know where my students' interests lie. And so far from September, a great deal of what I have been compiling includes their questions about the natural world around them, as well as just things that they have said that they were interested in learning about. On the very bottom, I included seashells and crystals. And these are all things that I have present in the classroom all of the time, and they tend to want to draw and paint and learn about these different objects. And then I included a painting of the ocean, something that was very present in the list that I compiled. I also included plant life in the back, and then clouds, which is constantly something that they are talking and thinking and drawing. Rainbows, it has recently become very popular in the classroom with many of the students. The sky, again, is an always present interest, and there's always new questions about the sky, space, galaxy, stars, just anything you can think of, they will ask about. I included the moon and the sun image here. I included more clouds and just the galaxy in the background. And you can close it and just get another view and another layer right there. So I created this project and just approach education a lot based on imagination and inquiry. And a lot of these ideas come from Davis's ideas on the features that are specific and invaluable effects of learning through the arts, which include imagination and agency, expression and empathy, interpretation and respect, inquiry and reflection, and finally engagement and responsibility. So I just think a lot of these ideas are things that we're always striving to teach in an early childhood classroom, especially things that have to do with emotion, and just getting them to understand and interpret things, getting them to ask questions and show an interest in learning and a love for learning. So I found that this really inspired me a lot when I read that she also thought that these things could be driven by the arts. And I think that just the arts are a great way to approach the natural world and really any subject. I also like the ideas of Sir Ken Robinson, and he has a quote that he says, "Imagination is the root of creativity. It is the ability to bring to mind things that aren't present to our senses." So that just, I find often with children, using their imagination even when they're exploring subjects such as science is really important and beautiful and just comes naturally to them. And just the last quote I'm going to say is Sir Ken Robinson's If you're not prepared to be wrong, you'll never come up with anything original. And that's something that I always try and strive for my students to try, even when they're not confident in something, because being wrong isn't the end of the world. It's a learning opportunity. So this is my midterm project. Thank you very much.